We're going to work on answering who questions. And with who questions, the answer is always a person. Okay, and it might be a person's title or their name. All righty, let me share my screen. Now, at first, we're going to start pretty easy when you actually get some choices. So it's going to be pretty easy at first. Later, you'll have to come up with the answer yourself. Okay, so it says, who? The answer is a person. Who builds things with wood and nails? Is it a mechanic, a carpenter, or a teacher? Well, the picture can certainly help, can't it? Who has some wood and all these tools? Carpenter. A carpenter builds with wood and nails. Okay. Who teaches us how to play sports? Is it a cashier, a doctor, or a coach? Well, the coach standing there with a basketball, so that's a pretty good clue. It's a coach. Okay. Who picks up the garbage? Is it a waiter, a garbage collector, or a dentist? Yeah, the garbage collector. Who keeps us safe and arrests criminals? Is it the police officer, a waiter, or a carpenter? Yeah, it's the police officer. Who works in hospitals and helps doctors? Is it a teacher, a nurse, or a painter? It's the nurse. Who grows fruits and vegetables? Is it the baker, the farmer, or the butcher? Farmer grows things. Who repairs cars and trucks? Is it a mechanic, a fisherman, or a farmer? Yeah, it's a mechanic. You can see he's got a tire for a car right there. All righty. Who defends our country? Is it a painter, a singer, or a soldier? It's a soldier. Who helps people when they are sick? Is it a doctor, a librarian, or a chef? Of those three, it's a doctor. Who teaches children reading and math? Is it a mail carrier, a teacher, or a police officer? It's a teacher. Who paints pictures? Is it a florist, a painter, or a nurse? It's a painter. Who puts out fires? Is it a florist, an astronaut, or a firefighter? Firefighter. Who slices meat at the store? Is it the butcher, the clown, or a hairdresser? It's the butcher. Who takes care of sick animals? Is it a veterinarian, which we can shorten and say vet, or a firefighter, or a carpenter? It's the veterinarian. Who makes cakes and cookies to sell? Is it a fisherman, a mechanic, or a baker? It's a baker. Who arranges and delivers flowers? Is it a farmer, a florist, or a pilot? It's a florist. Who keeps your teeth healthy and clean? Is it the librarian, the veterinarian, or the dentist? It's the dentist. Who catches fish and sells it in the market? Is it a nurse, a police officer, or a fisherman? It's the fisherman. And then some fishermen actually just take it home and feed their family with it. Who takes pictures? Is it a photographer, a garbage collector, or a plumber? It's a photographer. And the little word photo, P-H-O-T-O, that part, photo, a photo, or a photograph, or a picture. And the person that does it, we add the ER, photographer. Who flies an airplane? Is it a soldier, a clown, or a pilot? It's the pilot. Who sings in a band? Is it the astronaut, the hairdresser, or a singer? It's the singer. Who do you pay at the register? Is it a coach, a cashier, or a doctor? Well, it's the cashier that's standing there at the register. Who cooks food in a restaurant? Is it a chef, a coach, or a cashier? It's the chef. Who flies in a spaceship? Is it the astronaut, the mail carrier, or the plumber? It's the astronaut. Who fixes broken water pipes? Is it the dentist, the plumber, or a garbage collector? It's the plumber. Who makes you laugh at the circus? Is it a butcher, a clown, or a baker? It's the clown. Who works in a salon and cuts hair? Is it the hairdresser, a chef, or a photographer? It's the hairdresser. Who brings our food in a restaurant? Is it a pilot, a singer, or a waiter? It's the waiter. If it's a girl, it's a waitress, and either one can be called a server. Who delivers our mail? Is it the mail carrier, a soldier, or a veterinarian? The mail carrier delivers our mail. Who helps people find books to read? Is it a firefighter, a photographer, or a librarian? Probably the one with the books, the librarian. All right, so that wasn't too tough with the choices. Okay, so now I am going to stop that share, get rid of that, and I'm going to start another share, and this time we're going to share with my iPad, and things are going to get a little more difficult on these who questions. Okay, so let me get it ready. Okay, the who questions is what we're going to go with. And there we go.
Who teaches children to read and write?
Okay, I'm not going to give you choices. Who teaches children to read and write? I'm figuring you're probably saying a teacher. And I think we had that on the other one.
Who flies a spaceship?
Okay, we had that on the other one. Can you remember? Okay, it's an astronaut.
Who types letters and works in an office?
Now this one we didn't have. So I'm not sure if you're going to get it. So I'm going to have it show us the answer. Okay. Oh dear, that is way behind. Should be turning any moment now. Okay, they say it's an administrative assistant. Another word for that is secretary. So a secretary or administrative assistant types letters and works in an office. Okay, who makes cakes, pies, and cookies to sell? The baker. When they make them, they have to bake them. Okay.
Who takes pictures?
All right. What was that long word that had a little word in it that meant pictures? Okay. I'm just going to tell you the answer, otherwise it slows down the whole iPad moving with the mirroring. So I'm going to say it's a photographer. And the word photograph or photo means picture. Photographer.
Who checks and cleans teeth?
Okay. Did you say dentist? If you did, you were right. Who helps people when they're sick? Okay, yeah, the doctor or a nurse. Either one's going to work there. Okay, that should be moving shortly. Okay, who helps people in a store? Okay, this sort of goes with our other one. It was kind of like the one that rings up stuff at the cash register. Okay, could be the cashier, or sometimes they're called store clerks. Okay.
Whom does a groom marry?
Okay. The groom marries the bride, and on their wedding day, they're called the bride and groom. Okay, and then after that, they're pretty much just husband and wife. Okay.
Who keeps your school clean?
Okay. I don't think we had that on the earlier one. There's two possible words. You could say the janitor, and a word that means the same, or it's a synonym of janitor, is custodian. So a custodian or janitor keeps your school clean. Okay, this is the one we didn't have either before. Who takes care of the animals in the zoo? It is the zookeeper.
Who helps us when we get lost?
Well, we did have this person. Yeah, that helps us. The police officer. The police officer arrests people and keeps us safe. They were going to help us when we're lost too, because we're not really safe when we're lost. So the police officer helps us when we're lost. Internet's slow. Makes the video a little bit boring when we get stuck, doesn't it? Okay, who takes care of sick animals? It's a long word. Veterinarian, and we can shorten it and say vet. Who makes you
Who
laugh?
makes you laugh at the circus?
We had that on that other one. Yeah, it's the clown.
Who tells or writes about the news?
Okay, now this is one we did not have before. I'm just going to tell you. The person that tells or writes about the news is the reporter. The reporter is supposed to report about the news, and report means tell. Reporter.
Who paints pictures?
I think we had that before. The artist paints pictures. Who repairs cars and trucks? Do you remember? We had it before. Starts with an M. The mechanic repairs cars and trucks. Who fixes the broken pipes? Don't call it a piper, but it does start with a P. The plumber fixes broken pipes. Who cuts hair? Yeah, we had that. The hairdresser or hairstylist.
puts out fires?
Yeah, the firefighter. Who builds things with wood and nails? Remember? The carpenter. Carpenter.
Who
Oh,
plays music at a radio
we
station?
didn't have this before. The person that's putting on the music, that person is called a disc jockey. And we can shorten that and call him a DJ. So disc jockey or DJ plays music at the radio station. Looks like it's going to be stuck here again. Here we go. Who flies an airplane? We had that one. Yep, the pilot flies the airplane. Oh, goodness. Slow internet. Who's the person that's on? Okay, it's moving now. Who plays an instrument? This is one we didn't have before. The person that plays the instrument is making music, so we call them a musician. Okay? So there's all sorts of different kinds of musicians. Right. Looks like it's going to move here pretty quick. Who brings our food in a restaurant? Okay. In our earlier stuff, it was a man. What did they call him? Yep, they called him the waiter. And I told you what it would be. If it was a woman, it was almost like waiter. What was it? Waitress. And what was the word if it could be a male or a female, boy or a girl? Server. Okay, that's who brings food in the restaurant.
Who delivers mail?
That one's pretty easy, right? The mail carrier. We say carrier because it could be a man or a woman.
Who grows food for us to eat?
The farmer. This is one we didn't have before. Who wears special toe shoes when dancing? Who dances around on their toes and turns in circles? Ballerina. All right, so we got through those. So how did you do? Did you do okay? I hope so. So those are names of lots of different people, or their titles, different jobs people can have. So I hope that you can remember them, because we can't just say, you know, that everybody's the worker. We have to know who's who. Bye-bye.